you so much, Edwin. I don't know how you're supposed to follow Phyllis Hill. She is a phenom and a gift. Thank you so much, Phyllis, for blessing us. I'll simply say that if I were to put that in scriptural language, it's found in Joshua chapter 17, beginning at verse 14. But I introduce it with the story Michael Eric Dyson tells about Martin Luther King Jr. during the Chicago movement, where King used his platform to expose economic injustice and impoverishment. And according to Dr. Dyson, Martin King had moved under the West Side, the slums there in the West Side of Chicago, and he was leading a demonstration. And as many of you know, this white boy, this racist, spat on Dr. King. And so a brother from the West Side basically said, "You ain't gonna spit on our drum major," and got ready to go after the white boy. And check out what King said. King said, "Why are you upset about him spitting on me when policies that are passed every single day spit on your humanity, spit on the community, spit on our dignity as a people?" And so King was shifting the brother to understand that there are policies that are passed locally, statewide, and federally that spit on us every single day. The question becomes, if Michael Dyson is right, and that is that politics is about distributing resources, in too many instances, we are spat upon by politics, and that comes from both parties, the donkey and the elephant. The question becomes, if they're spitting on us, how do we respond? Well, right there in Joshua, resources, real estate is being distributed, and the Bible lets us know the descendants of Joseph say, "Yo, y'all spitting on us because you passed us some real cheap real estate here in the promised land, and we're not going out like that." And watch after getting checked, said, "Yeah, you're right. You're a great people and you deserve a whole lot of land." And so what do we do in terms of engaging in unfettered access to policies and governmental structures? Well, the text lets us know these things that I'm done. It says to begin with, closed mouths don't get fed on this boulevard. Now that simply means you got to speak up and protest. That means you've got to show up and have enough self-respect to say, "I ain't gonna go out like this. Closed mouths don't get fed on this boulevard." But then the second thing I learned, and that is, and it's so powerful, and that is, if you have any respect for your rich heritage, then you don't get played cheap in public policy. These are the descendants of Joseph, and we are the descendants of Harriet and Sojourner. We are the descendants of MLK and Medgar and Martin and Marcus. And so given all of that, in light of our rich heritage, we can't be played cheap when it comes to public policy. And then the final thing is, I got this from Reverend Jesse Jackson. He says, we need to see ourselves as bigger than we see ourselves. That's why Joshua said, "You're not going to settle for this little piece of property. You're going to get a whole lot more." We've got to see ourselves as brilliant, phenomenal Black people who have a heritage of doing great stuff. And once we do that, the good news is we won't settle for being spat upon by public policy. I don't care if you call me the N-word. Make sure your policies don't treat me like the N-word. And when we reach that mindset, we'll understand the brilliance of Drake. I got to close with Drake because Drake throws down like this when he says, "When writing the story of your life, make sure you use your own pen."